Adenco on asset finance from ABSA, going off the beaten track to find solutions.
Coming up is a graphic illustration of just how difficult passing can be when the route is tight and the dust is a major factor. Coming down the hill in the bakkie are reigning Class E champions Jannie Visser and Joks Leroux, who are intent on salvaging points after prologue problems. Behind them are the Class B leaders, with Des and Dion Besadenhout in the Adenco Bat, managing to get past the RFS Toyota Hilux. Not so lucky are Simon Beckett and Steve Harris in the Century Racing Bat. Despite staying off the track, Beckett and Harris cannot find a way past the Toyota.
The Class B battle is the tightest in the race, but getting past the Toyota has given the Besadenhout's breathing space. Beckett and Harris are stuck in the dust behind the Toyota, and it's going to need some cooperation from Visser and Leroux for the Century Bat to get past and recover lost ground.
When the opportunity finally presents itself, Visser and Leroux move out of the way to allow the bat to go past, but the damage has been done.
Free State-based Lo de Bruin last year won the Class B Drivers' Championship and is another of the string of competitors now out in production cars. De Bruin and Rian Kreiling were a long way behind the class leaders Dion Venter and Ian Palmer, but were going along steadily in the Rubicon Ford Ranger. Also a long way in arrears were Debord van Breda and Johan de Tooy in the Northern Toyota Hilux. They were still plagued by overheating problems and had lost touch with Class D leaders Cliff and Louis Weichelt, who were having a trouble-free run. For the Class D and E runners, it was tough going.
For the Atlas Copco pair of Gary Gillingham and Dani Stassen, problems started early. They burnt the bat's clutch offloading the car in the pits and made an abortive attempt to complete the prologue. They had to fly in spare parts from Johannesburg overnight, and after frantic work on the car, made it to the start. Perseverance had paid off, and a steady drive and retirements had seen them into the top fringes of Class A, with the car sounding in good shape.
Also restored to good shape were Bez and Dion Besadenhout, who had sorted out their electrical problems and were challenging in Class B in the Adenco Bat. They were making up time on Simon Beckett and Steve Harris, and with Johan and Etienne Besadenhout leading Class P, things were looking up for the Besadenhout family and, of course, Adenco.
At the back of the field, it had been hard going for Johan Fischer and Wenzel Pretorius in the lone Mitsubishi Colt running in Class D. They were plagued with a clutch problem, but were plugging determinedly on around 2 hours behind class leaders Cliff and Louis Weichelt. Caught in the Mitsubishi's dust were Marius Nicholson and Roderick Jeffrey in a sandmaster that was destined to be a late casualty.
It was thirsty work for the professional and amateur photographers, and being under a shady tree with plenty of refreshment was the perfect place for watching all the action. It was a lot hotter in the cars, with Derek de Tooy and Ian Pienaar putting in a late spurt in the orange tree bat that was to take them into a podium finish in Class B.
There was also a late flourish from Hichel and Jaap de Bruin, who were putting in a spirited finish in the Micron XL Toyota Hilux. A string of problems in the prologue and during the race saw to it that the de Bruins were always playing catch-up. It was a weekend they would rather forget, but there was compensation by the way of 10th place in the SP class.
Perseverance also paid off for the Macanetti brothers in the Zarco. Despite a recurrence of the fuel pump problems that plagued them on the prologue, they brought the Zarco home in one piece and were fourth in class after a very brave effort.
Back at the finish at the Darling Country Club, Duncan Force and Rolf Pitchford led home a Donaldson Nissan 1-2 triumph. Forsen Pitchford never put a wheel wrong on an ultra-tough route and were just 41 seconds ahead of Hannes Grobler and Johan Moore in what was a perfect start to the season for the Midrand-based team.
Yeah, couldn't have gone better. You know, we had a great time trial. We didn't get caught in anyone's dust. We started right in the front, and yeah, it was a great way to start the season. No trouble whatsoever.
So the car went like clockwork.
No, it was perfect. When we got into the pits on the first loop, it wouldn't start, so they found a problem, but thank God we found it in the pits. But other than that, it was just a perfect weekend.
Yeah, no, it was a great race. We enjoyed it thoroughly. But it was very, very, very rough. Yes, unbelievable. I must say the second loop was much better than the first. Because I think the track was a little bit open and that. I must say we can't complain. We had a small problem with exhaust today, exhaust system in the first loop and the second loop. So we lost a little bit of power near to the end, but other than that, we
Evan, you couldn't have wished for a better start. New season, new car, win first time out. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic day. I can't believe it. Thanks to Motorrad, thanks to Achim who built the car, thanks to my crew. Yeah, an incredible day. You know, we had a few problems. A few people in front of us and they fell by the wayside. Sybil's maybe 3 or 4 kilometers back here broken down, and we couldn't believe it when we saw him. I don't know what the problem was, but you know, last year we were here, it was disastrous. You know, we lost our car, and it was a very bad start to the year. So, but we kept at it. You know, we never gave up, and we built a new car, and we came here hoping and praying that we could get back on top again, and we did it.
Yeah, no, our game plan today was, as I told you earlier on, we're just going to take it easy and go for it. And you know, we pulled up to third in the DSP. After that came out, and we went about 50, 100 kilos, and then we picked up second position, and then we maintained right until the end, basically. The car still, clutch was slipping, so we were just nursing it home, and a good result at the end.
It was excellent, I must be honest. You know, I came here with the intention just of finishing and collecting points, and that's exactly what we achieved, you know. So at least now we look forward to Port Elizabeth, and I'm going to pretty much take the same approach down there because I've never been there. But yeah, you know, it's first time for me here, so next time when I come back I can at least chase a bit harder.
We had a clean run, we had any punches. I think in the second loop we got used to the car, we were a bit better. Peter had a great in the co-driver's seat today, he really was good. Yeah, I can't ask for a better result on debut, without a doubt, but it was difficult, it was hard.
Yeah, we're very glad. We had a nice day. It was fast, the terrain is excellent, Mark. Very well done.
The production vehicle class was dominated by the 2 leading Donaldson Nissan Navaras with good results for Visser and Baardhorst, Taylor and Houghton and Marsh and Groenewald. Class D was dominated by the Weichhards and Class E by Venter and Palmer, with both teams grabbing top 10 finishes.
A dream win for Evan Hutchinson and Achim Bergman in the special vehicle category in the Motorrad Revo 1. The Adenco Cup overflowed with the Besaidnout brothers winning Class B and Bez and Dion Besaidnout Class B.
Don't miss the action from the Eastern Cape 400 in Jeffreys Bay on Friday and Saturday the 17th and 18th of April. We'll see you there.
That was the ultimate test.